Hello everybody, this is Cheri at djsundry.blogspot.com, and today we are going to make a quick card together. I've already started prepping it, so we are just going to jump in and start the card. So to start with, I have a white daisy cardstock base that I have already folded, and I've already adhered a piece of black 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch paper, and that's just to give it a little bit of pop. The color that I'm using, or the paper that I'm using here, this is actually from the Charlotte Workshop Your Way, and I believe that this may have been one of the Picture My Life cards that was in it, but it is a good size for the card, but it's so light colored that there just was no pop to separate that from the white. And I'm actually making a sympathy card. And so I didn't want it all black and boring, and for this person that has passed away, he knew the Lord, and he was ready for heaven. And so while it's sad for his family, and I want to express our condolences, it's also happy for them because they know that he is no longer in pain and he's with the Lord. So I don't want it to be totally boring and drab either. It's a celebration, but there is some sadness in there. So I have this really light muted card, and there's some grays in it and some peaches in it. And then this is another piece. This is just a scrap from the same collection, and I wrote it, or I cut it at 1 inch by 4 inches, and then I didn't even measure the black underneath it. Again, I just wanted a little bit of pop there, and so I just made it so that there would be a little bit of border to provide some separation. Now, the next thing we're going to do is our stamping. And so I pulled a stamp that has a scripture verse on it. It says, cast thy burdens on the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. And so I just have a scrap of white daisy cardstock here, and I am going to use VersaFine ink because I find that I really like VersaFine for these fine imprint stamps. I just think it does a really good job. It's really black. This is the onyx black, and so it's super black, but it also seems to, when you're looking for a fine detailed stamp, it seems to give you a nice clean stamped image. And so that's why I really like it for these really fine and delicate stamps. So I'm just going to clean that off. The one thing I don't like about VersaFine ink is it's not super easy to get off. I mean, you can use your stamp cleaner and scrubbers. Of course, that would help get it off a little bit better than a baby white, but for the sake of time, we'll just do that. I'm going to close that up, and then we're going to trim that out. You can see this is real scientific here. I'm not measuring hardly anything. I'm more going by eyeball and what I like. And so I'm just trimming that to a nice little framed image. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mount that on this piece of flaxen. Now I really wish I had like a blush color, because that's a good color. This main flower here is that blush color, but I did not see any of that in my stash. And so I chose the flaxen because it's very close to the color of the leaf. So it's a nice contrast without just being super bold. And I don't want a lot of it. I want a very narrow border around it, just to help it pop off that card. So, believe it or not, we are almost done already. I'm going to trim a little bit more off the top if I can get away with it. I have found that sometimes trimming a little bit can be tricky, like it was, so when all else fails, we'll just pull it off and start over. Let's add, I think rather than trimming it closer, I'm going to add a little bit more. And I know I got off camera there because my big old paper cutter's in the way. But we'll add a little bit more border instead of less border and see if that does a little bit better job for us. Well, not that much. I think it's late and I need to go to bed is my problem. There we go. That's better. And like I said, I just want a little bit of a border. That's good on those sides. Let's trim off this side. There we go. A little bit more off the bottom. I think I'm going to get myself in trouble very soon here again, just like I did on the first one if I'm not careful. We're going to call that good. Okay. So we are going to get, now I have to just kind of decide where I want that. I'm thinking right about there. You can see how very simple this is, and sometimes less is more, and I know that's a saying that we've all heard, but I am a firm believer that sometimes less is more, and you don't want to do too much. You just want to have something that says I care, and I think that this will do that. Now let's look and see before, again, because sometimes less is more, I may decide I don't want to use these, but I have these coral reef, and actually they're a great match. Let's see, where would we want to put them? I have these coral reef sequins, and these are old and no longer available, but I think that they will be a nice little match here. I just put one up in that, a couple up in that corner. Just, and what I'm doing, because there's so much dull space or bright space, empty space up there, that what I'm doing is I'm kind of bringing the eye down to my sentiment, and I think I'm going to pop that up because it's not firmly set yet, and I'm going to actually pull it up. Still hanging out more towards the bottom of the card, but let's bring it up. Yeah, I like that better. And then let's pull another one and just take it right about there. Okay, so there we have it. Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. So thanks so much for stopping by today, and remember, take some time to enjoy the little things. Have a great day.